Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today is Monday afternoon. I'd like to share again another tips regarding building an IoT solution. Couple of days ago, I have described about the IoT business and some simple applications, and I would like to continue that with many more applications, and I'll be sharing this how to build IoT solutions in different scenarios. So I will go out and take a look at some of the places that you might feel that, hey, can I build an IoT solution here? So suddenly we found out that it's not that straightforward in building these IoT solutions, because there are many factors are involved in building IoT solution. If you are thinking that you can find IoT solution which is ready-made and can easily deploy in your organization or your business, I think you are wrong, because a lot of times most of these solutions are customized. You require certain design, and you might even require different devices, sensors, connectivity, and many more. But first, I think before you even start in planning and what are the things that you want to develop for your, or solve a solution in your, solve a problem in your organization, take a look at the assets. If you have a customer out there, ask the customer what kind of assets that they want to monitor, and these assets are worthwhile for them to monitor, or even can be managed from remotely. I give an example. If a human being is an asset, the health is an asset of the individual, so most likely you want to know how healthy is that person is, right? So if you have a family members, your mother or parent, your elderly parents who are staying at home, you feel that you want to monitor their assets, whether they are they are healthy or not. So that's one thing. If you own a fleet management, all the vehicles within your organizations is your asset, and you want to know the utilization of the assets and where they are located and all that. So if these assets can be connected, you can actually know a lot more details about the condition of the assets. So from there, you can build different sensors inside that, either inside or outside, looking at the asset itself. So what kind of sensors that you can incorporate? It depends on, I think digital sensors, we have a lot of digital sensors. Human, in fact, have, how many sensors do you feel that human have? Normally it's 5 sensors, right? The sense of touch and feel, the sense of sight, that you can see, the sense of taste, the sense of smell, and the sense of hearing. So all of these human senses actually can be translated into something digital. So then, if you want to have feel that, feel of the vibration, you have a vibration sensor. Feeling of heat, you have a heat sensor, and see the, uncomfortability, the comfort level, you might have humidity sensors. And if you want to have a, people looking at motion, is another motion sensors. You're looking at the side, the camera, and you might even have a microphone for hearing, to replace your ears as the, that listens to the sound and all that. So a lot of these sensors are in digital form at this point of time, and you can put that either inside the assets, or you can also put outside, or you can have a camera that looks into the asset itself. So these are the IoT sensors which you need to be, the sensors that which you need to be connected. And the most difficult part is that the application scenario, the location of that sensors is also very important. So for example, in building or underground, or even somewhere at the parking lot, so signals are able to be transmitted that easily between different walls. And if you're in the jungle, you know, the location is very far away, you might require different kind of connectivity. So define connectivity correctly in the first place, because that's important, because it also incur a lot of cost. So you might have sensors within the building that can be connected through Wi-Fi or Zigbee, and you might have a gateway that then it will send it out the data through the internet. So either through 2G, 3G, fixed line or fiber, so it doesn't matter. So plan carefully what kind of connectivity that you require, and also the battery, the energy. So how do you power up the sensors? So you might need to have smaller sensors, needs to be there, and you don't want to touch that sensors for months or years there. So you don't want to know, the only thing that you want to know is whether the sensors are still sending data or not. Otherwise, you might have sensors which have power most of the time, 24/7, so it must be near to power source. If you don't have that, you might need solar power. So from there, you have to find ways of how to send the data out. You might need a cloud where you want to store the data. So the middleware sits inside the cloud, will extract all this sensor information and be stored inside that cloud. So if your sensors have different protocols, then you might require a middleware that requires that able to connect and transmit and receive a certain data, a certain protocol which is standards. So from there, you must expose this data to your own developer so that they can create their own applications, take the data out and display on the dashboard. So if you take a look, most of these IoT solutions are always customized. So you go into a you go to any building and you feel that what are the assets inside the building you need to monitor. So you want to reduce cost, the aircon, you want to reduce cost of the electricity, you have to find out which equipments or devices in the building that actually consume a lot of electricity. And most likely you will find out that this is actually the air condition. So why you want to waste a lot of the sensors to manage small power devices, which doesn't consume that much. So if you can reduce the consumption of, control the consumption of the air condition, it will reduce 90% of the whole cost. So that will save a lot. So the next question is that once we have built that, if there is a value and people willing to pay for the services, you have it. You actually strike a deal. You have solutions that can solve a problem and people are willing to pay for that. So you don't want to build a solutions which is so fancy, looks very nice, but nice to have, but people are still not willing to pay for that kind of services. So who's going to pay for that kind of services is another thing. You look at the asset and who are the stakeholders that looks into the asset. It can be the owner of the asset, or the manufacturer of the asset, or the user of the asset. So if these assets are having multiple stakeholders, you will see that there might be many people are willing to pay for the services. So for example, a manufacturer who wants to know, understanding how people utilize their washing machine, so he might pay for the extra service. If if people who supply detergent and all that, they would like to know how people utilize detergent inside the washing machine. And as a user, you might want to pay for the services because you want to know the best time for you to wash your clothes and the right time for you to dry it up outside, because you might integrate with weather information that tells you when is it going to rain or not. So these are the ways that if you build a solutions, you look at the stakeholders that feel that this is what I would like to have this service, and I can pay for the services. So without that, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have a value it doesn't have that value that people are willing to pay for the services. So take a look at that model. So I would like to share again in tomorrow about I just might go around in different places and take a look at one example and see how actually you can build your IoT solutions and you can make business out of that. So thank you very much, guys. Bye.